Hey everyone, it's AYBL Main here. This is my series, AYBL Main's Top 5 series for albums, songs, movies, and the like. I'll be counting down those things, or at least ranking those things as I go along. Please take time to hit the red subscribe button down below. Please leave comments, maybe your top 5 in each particular category. That would be kind of cool. And whether you like or dislike the video. Other than that, guys, let's just sit back and enjoy and plug away at this series. I appreciate it. So here we go, guys, with the year 2009. This will be year 41 for the top 5 albums for every year that I've been alive. And let's just jump in. Making my list is going to be Kid Cudi's very first album for Man on the Moon. I think it's End of the Day is the first one. The other volumes I've listened to as well. I'm not very high on them, but the debut one is fantastic. Kanye West is a producer on here. Also, Ratatat's also a producer. Soundtrack to My Life is on here. Day and Night, which was a really big pop hit for him. Definitely his strongest album, guys, and it definitely makes my top 5 for this year. Also making my top 5, and it's a good thing that he came out with Blueprint 3 after listening to Blueprint 2. I was a little disappointed in Jay-Z. That album only had a couple tracks that I liked on here, but Blueprint 3 kind of made up for it. Timbaland produces on here, also does Kanye West. DOA, Empire State of Mind, Run This Town, all very strong tracks. It seemed like he made a great comeback here for this year. And I can remember this Run This Town was played like on every sporting event, it seemed like. I was at basketball games and soccer games, and like everybody was always playing this song as kind of a warm-up song, so it's there. Also making the top 5 is going to be U2's No Line on the Horizon. It's kind of a comeback album for them, in my opinion anyway. Rick Rubin started off being the producer for this album, then they kind of just scrapped the whole idea of him even being associated with it, and they went out and got Brian Eno and Daniel Lanois to produce the album. Get Your Boots On is a great track on there, but probably the highlight is Moment of Surrender, which is their song about addiction. They actually did that song, all the pre-production and the actual recording of the song was all done in one take. Post-production stuff was added on, of course, later, but they got it all in one take, and that's kind of impressive. Definitely one of my favorite U2 songs of all time, so check out that album. Also, a indie pop, synth pop kind of band called Phoenix. They had a album called Phoenix Amadeus. No, actually, it was called Wolfgang Amadeus Phoenix. I had to always try to get that right because I always want to say Mozart for some reason. So they got a couple of songs on here like List Mania and 1901 that you should check out. It was like third for Rolling Stone's best albums of the year for 2009. Great. It was much better than their debut album, and I thought it was a very interesting album, and I wanted to include it in my top 5. I don't get enough of these indie pop bands that kind of make it, so they're going to make it this year. But number 1 for me is going to be another indie pop sound, but it's kind of a little bit of the synth pop, but yeah, but it's got a little bit of the electronica stuff into it. It's Jamie XX's creation called the XX, and the name of the album is called XX, and it's the actual, I call it the Black Album because they've had subsequent albums too that all have the same logo on the front, but they just changed the color configuration. This one has Crystallized on it, and VCR, and Islands, all good tunes. Definitely something totally different than what had been released prior to for any type of indie pop sound, so I definitely recommend it. It's their debut album. You should definitely check these guys out. As for the artists that everybody said I would love, but I actually didn't, this one kind of came out of left field because everybody was just suggesting the Dirty Projectors to me because they knew I was listening to this indie pop sound, especially in the early 2000s. And the name of the album was called Bit Orca. Other than like one song, which was called Stillness of the Move, nothing ever resonated with me from that album. I was very, very disappointed after all the hype that everybody gave me surrounding the album. It's definitely not worth checking out at all. It was a complete waste. I would not. I'd go find something else to listen to from 2009. That's all I got for now, guys. I'll have 2010 hopefully up by the end of the weekend. I think you guys might have an idea which 2 bands are going to be up for the big on that one, but we'll wait and see. Thanks.